Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses the nation in his Mann Ki Baat program, terms Ayushman Bharat scheme as the biggest boon for poor, emphasizes upon spreading awareness regarding benefits of the scheme so that poor and disadvantaged get affordable health care. Prime Minister in his Mann Ki Baat program lauds astounding success of startup ecosystem in India, says a unicorn is being raised in India every 10 days, emphasizes upon India getting record investments and support for startups post-2015, praises Indian youth for achieving this feat in the midst of COVID pandemic. Political activity on the rise in wake of upcoming winter session of Parliament due to begin from Monday. Centre calls an all-party meeting today for smooth conduct of the proceedings. After Prime Minister Narendra Modi's high-level review meeting on COVID, Centre and states issues fresh measures to check the infections. Strict screening at airports for arrivals from South Africa and 6 other countries where the new variant has emerged. Amidst growing concerns over the new COVID variant, Omicron, nations gear up to face the challenge. European nations impose fresh travel restrictions. WHO issues warnings to Southeast Asian nations. South African president convenes meeting. And in hockey, India enters the quarterfinals of Junior World Cup, beating Poland by 8 goals in Pool B encounter. India to take on Belgium in quarterfinals on Wednesday. Hello, you're watching DD India and I'm Preeti presenting this edition. Our top story first. Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared his thoughts with the people of the country and abroad in his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio. Sharing his thoughts in the 83rd episode of the Mann Ki Baat program, the Prime Minister termed Ayushman Bharat scheme as the biggest boon for poor. He emphasized upon spreading awareness regarding benefits of the scheme so that poor and disadvantaged get affordable health care.
आप एक जिम्मेवारी निभाइए। ऐसे जितने गरीब परिवार हैं आपके आसपास, उनको अपनी ये कैसे आपको लाभ हुआ, कैसे मदद मिली, ये बताइए और उनको कहिए कि वे भी ऐसा कार्ड बनवा लें ताकि परिवार में पता नहीं कब क्या मुसीबत आ जाए। और आज गरीब दवाई के कारण परेशान रहे, ये तो ठीक नहीं है। अब पैसों के कारण वो दवाई न ले या बीमारी का उपाय न करे, तो ये भी बड़ी चिंता का विषय है। मेरे एक अच्छे साथी बनके जितने गरीबों को आप ये आयुष्मान भारत योजना के संबंध में समझा सकते हैं, वैसे बीमार लोगों की मदद कर सकते हैं, देखिए आपको भी संतोष होगा और मुझे बहुत खुशी होगी। आयुष्मान भारत योजना ये गरीबों के लिए है, मध्यम वर्ग के लिए है, सामान्य परिवारों के लिए है।
Also, the Prime Minister lauded the astounding success of the startup ecosystem in the country, sharing his thoughts in his Mann Ki Baat program. Prime Minister said that a unicorn is being raised in India every 10 days. He also emphasized on India getting record investments and support for startups post-2015. The Prime Minister praised Indian youth for achieving this feat in the midst of COVID.
आजकल हम चारों तरफ सुनते हैं स्टार्टअप स्टार्टअप स्टार्टअप। सही बात है, ये स्टार्टअप का युग है और ये भी सही है कि स्टार्टअप की दुनिया में आज भारत विश्व में एक प्रकार से नेतृत्व कर रहा है। आजकल यूनिकॉर्न शब्द खूब चर्चा में है। आप सबने इसके बारे में सुना होगा। यूनिकॉर्न एक ऐसा स्टार्टअप होता है जिसका वैल्यूएशन कम से कम $1 बिलियन होता है, यानी करीब करीब 7,000 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा। साथियों, साल 2015 तक देश में बमुश्किल 9 या 10 यूनिकॉर्न हुआ करते थे। आपको ये जानकर बेहद खुशी होगी कि अब यूनिकॉर्न्स की दुनिया में भी भारत तेज उड़ान भर रहा है। एक रिपोर्ट के मुताबिक इसी साल एक बड़ा बदलाव आया है। सिर्फ 10 महीनों में ही भारत में हर 10 दिन में एक यूनिकॉर्न बना है। ये इसलिए भी बड़ी बात है क्योंकि हमारे युवाओं ने ये सफलता कोरोना महामारी के बीच हासिल की है। आज भारत में 70 से अधिक यूनिकॉर्न हो चुके हैं, यानी 70 से अधिक स्टार्टअप ऐसे हैं जो 1 बिलियन से ज्यादा के वैल्यूएशन को पार कर गए हैं। साथियों, स्टार्टअप की इस सफलता के कारण हर किसी का उस पर ध्यान गया है और जिस प्रकार से देश से विदेश से निवेशकों से उसे समर्थन मिल रहा है, शायद कुछ साल पहले उसकी कोई कल्पना भी नहीं कर सकता था।
Ahead of the winter session of Parliament, the government today convened an all-party meeting. During the meeting, the centre has sought support of political parties to ensure smooth functioning of both the houses of Parliament. In the evening, Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has also called a meeting of floor leaders of different political parties at his residence in New Delhi. During the meeting, Rajya Sabha Chairman will discuss ways to ensure smooth functioning of the upper house during the session. Meanwhile, Bharatiya Janata Party's Parliamentary Executive Committee will also hold a separate meeting at Parliament Annex A later today. The winter session of Parliament will start on 29th of November and will conclude on 23rd of December. And the winter session of Parliament will begin tomorrow. The bill to repeal 3 farm laws will be introduced on the first day of the session. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar will introduce Farm Laws Repeal Bill 2021 in Lok Sabha tomorrow. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had announced that all the 3 farm laws will be repealed in the winter session. The bill will repeal the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farms Services Act 2020, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020, the Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020 and to amend the Essential Commodities Act 1955. BJP has issued a whip for its members to remain present in the House to support the government. Due to Modi government's game changer scheme DBT, there has been huge savings to the government exchequer even during the COVID period. According to the government, in the year 2020-21, about 45,000 crore rupees were saved due to DBT. Due to the transparent DBT system, Modi government has saved 2.5 lakh crore rupees in the last 7 years. According to the government, due to DBT in the last financial year, the government has saved a total of 44,571.78 crore rupees. Meanwhile, according to the DBT portal, a total of 34,700 crore rupees has been saved to the exchequer in the account of ration received through PDS alone. And tragic news coming in from West Bengal, where at least 17 people have been killed in a road accident in Nadia district. The incident happened when over 30 people were heading towards Nawadweep crematorium in a matador from Bagra of North 24 Parganas. The matador collided with the truck parked on the side of the road, killing several people and leaving 15 others injured. According to the police, the accident happened due to thick fog and the high speed of the vehicle. The injured have been admitted to the hospital. The police investigation is underway. And update on the nationwide COVID vaccination drive now, with the administration of 82,86,058 vaccine doses in the last 24 hours. India's COVID vaccination coverage has crossed 121.94 crore landmark. Now 121 crore 94 lakh 71,134 vaccine doses have been administered across the country so far. Talking of the COVID situation from across the country, as per the new data by Minister of Health and Family Welfare, the recovery of 9,481 COVID patients in the last 24 hours has increased the cumulative tally of recovered patients to 3,39,98,278. Consequently, India's recovery rate stands at 98.34%, which is the highest since March 2020. Sustained and collaborative efforts by the centre and the states and union territories continue the trend of less than 50,000 daily new cases. 8,774 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The active caseload presently is at 1,05,691, which is the lowest in 543 days. Active cases presently constitute 0.31% of the country's total positive cases. Weekly positivity rate at 0.85%, which has been less than 1% for the last 14 days now. The daily positivity rate is reported to be at 0.8%, which is less than 2% for the last 55 days. The testing capacity across the country continues to be expanded. India has so far conducted over 63.94 crore cumulative tests. After Prime Minister Narendra Modi's high-level review meeting on COVID, the centre and states issued fresh measures to check the infections, strict screening at airports for arrivals from South Africa and 6 other countries where the new variant has emerged. In Maharashtra, the state government has issued fresh guidelines for COVID-19, including revised restrictions and permissions for passengers arriving in the state amidst the Omicron variant scare. Now, as per the guidelines, all travellers into the state from any international destination shall be governed by directions of the Government of India in this respect. Domestic travellers shall either be fully vaccinated or carry an RT-PCR test valid for 72 hours. Earlier on Saturday, Mumbai Mayor Kishori Pednekar issued new COVID restrictions to curb the spread of the virus amidst the fear of a new variant. As per the new guidelines, travellers arriving from South Africa to Mumbai airport will have to undergo a mandatory quarantine. The authorities have also been instructed to make a list and track of all the international passengers coming in the state. The order further states that in case if a passenger is tested positive for COVID, then the samples will be sent for genome sequencing. Karnataka has meanwhile decided to implement a slew of stringent precautionary measures amidst the rise in COVID cases and the scare of the new Omicron variant of the virus. A high-level meeting chaired by Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai in this regard has decided to intensify screening of international passengers at the airports and also make RT-PCR test report compulsory for those arriving from Kerala and Maharashtra. The Chief Minister instructed the officials to go on an aggressive campaign to trace those who have not taken the second dose of the vaccine and cover them at the earliest. The meeting decided to impose a temporary ban on cultural programs in schools and colleges, making the second dose of the vaccination compulsory for those working in government offices, malls, hotels, cinema halls, zoos, swimming pools and libraries. The World Health Organization has meanwhile asked countries in the Southeast Asia region to scale up surveillance, strengthen public health and social measures, and enhance vaccination coverage to contain a new variant of COVID-19 called Omicron. The global health body said that the festivities and celebrations must include all precautionary measures and crowds and large gatherings must be avoided. Dr. Poonam Khetrapal Singh, Regional Director, WHO Southeast Asia region, said that at no cost the country should let their guards down. In a statement, she said that though COVID cases have been declining in most countries in Southeast Asia region, the surge in cases elsewhere in the world and confirmation of a new variant of concern is a reminder of the persisting risk and the need to put the best to protect against the virus and prevent its spread. Countries must enhance surveillance and sequencing, she said. Dr. Singh said that comprehensive and tailored public health and social measures to prevent transmission must continue. The regional director said that the more COVID circulates, the more opportunities the virus will have to change and mutate, and the pandemic will last longer. Dr. Singh advised the most important thing people must do is reduce their risk of exposure to the virus by wearing a mask, covering nose and mouth, keeping safe distance, avoiding poorly ventilated or crowded spaces, keeping hands clean, covering cough and sneeze, and getting vaccinated. The World Health Body also urged people to continue to take all preventive and precautionary measures even after taking the COVID vaccine. The European Commission, in fact, held an emergency meeting to outline the measures to be taken across Europe on the Omicron variant. The European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen in a tweet said, and I quote, "After European Union triggered emergency break to tackle Omicron, the Commission is working on every lead to follow with all the commissioners to speed up vaccinations and third dose, increase testing and tracking for people who come from the regions most at risk, deepen the sequencing of the variant and analyze the wastewater to locate Omicron variant." Amidst growing concerns about the new COVID variant Omicron, nations gear up to face the challenge. The European nations, in fact, have imposed fresh travel restrictions. United Kingdom has placed South Africa, Namibia, Lesotho, Botswana, Eswatini and Zimbabwe on its red list, which means that direct flights from these 6 countries will be banned up till Sunday 4 a.m. Whereas passengers arriving from these countries from Sunday at 4 a.m. will have to book and pay for a government-approved hotel quarantine facility for 10 days. Also, non-residents will be refused entry. England will also add Malawi, Mozambique, Zambia and Angola to its travel red list, meaning British and Irish residents who arrive in the country must quarantine in a government-approved hotel for 10 days.
It is spreading around the world, with 2 cases so far identified here in the UK. As always, I must stress this, as always with a new variant, there are many things that we just cannot know at this early stage. But our scientists are learning more hour by hour. And it does appear that Omicron spreads very rapidly and can be spread between people who are double vaccinated. So in addition to the measures we're already taking to locate those who have been in countries of concern over the last 10 days, we will require all contacts of those who test positive with a suspected case of Omicron to self-isolate for 10 days, regardless of your vaccination status.
Meanwhile, Britain has confirmed its first 2 cases of the new Omicron strain of COVID-19, both linked to travel from South Africa. UK's Health Minister Sajid Javid informed of the 2 cases, one in Chelmsford and one in Nottingham. And according to the Health Ministry, the 2 individuals and all members of their households are being retested and have been told to self-isolate while further testing and contact tracing is being done.
Informed that they have detected 2 cases of this new variant, Omicron, in the United Kingdom. One in Chelmsford, the other in Nottingham. The 2 individuals concerned are self-isolating alongside their whole household, whilst further tests and sequencing is carried out and contact tracing. The 2 cases are linked. One thing that we are doing immediately is carrying out targeted testing and sequencing of positive cases in the 2 areas that are affected. And secondly, we are adding 4 more countries to the red list.
And Israel has banned the entry of all foreigners into the country, making it the first country to shut its borders completely in response to a new and potentially more contagious COVID variant, and said that it would use counterterrorism phone tracking technology in order to contain the spread of the Omicron variant. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said in a statement that pending government approval, it is banning foreign travel to Israel for 14 days, becoming the first country to take such drastic action. Health authorities in Middle Eastern country have already confirmed 1 case of the new variant, thought to be about 5 times more contagious than the Delta strain. There are another 7 suspected cases, all in quarantine. And Australia and several other countries have joined the nations imposing restrictions on travel from southern Africa on Saturday after the discovery of the new Omicron COVID variant sparked global concern and triggered a market sell-off. The Australian government on Saturday banned flights from 9 South African countries and restricted its borders again to prevent the entry of Omicron variant. People who have visited South Africa, Zimbabwe and several other nations in the past fortnight will also be barred from Australia.
Effective immediately, anyone who is not a citizen of Australia or their dependents and who has been in African countries where the Omicron variant has been detected and spread within the past 14 days will not be able to enter Australia. These countries are South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Lesotho, Eswatini, the Seychelles, Malawi and Mozambique.
Dutch health authorities said on Saturday that they had detected 61 COVID cases among people who flew from South Africa on Friday and were now doing further tests to see whether any are infected with the new Omicron variant. The cases were discovered among around 600 passengers who arrived at Amsterdam's airport on 2 flights on Friday before the Dutch government halted air traffic from South Africa due to concerns over the variant. Local residents at a nearby testing centre on Saturday reacted with dismay to the news of the Omicron variant. The passengers from Friday's flights were kept separated from other travellers, and those who tested positive are being kept in isolation at a hotel near the airport. Immunologist Leif Erik Sander of the Charité Hospital in Berlin said on Saturday that current vaccines would probably offer at least some protection against the Omicron variant. Earlier on Saturday, the minister in the western state of Hesse said that the Omicron variant of the virus had probably arrived in Germany after mutations were found in a passenger arriving from South Africa. Germany recorded 67,125 new cases on Saturday, the Robert Koch Institute for Infectious Diseases said. More than 100,000 people have died because of COVID, and most Germans are braced for tighter restrictions as ICUs, especially in eastern and southern Germany, reach their limits and COVID patients are transferred from hospitals that are overwhelmed. Acting Health Minister Jens Spahn warned that the situation was worse than ever. Germany has said that it will classify South Africa as a virus variant area from today. Up next, quick updates on COVID situation from across the world. COVID cases, as we told you, are soaring all over the world. So far, the world has registered over 26 crore 13 lakh cases of the virus, while the number of recoveries stands above 23 crore 61 lakh. More than 52 lakh 13,000 lives have been lost globally due to the pandemic. The US continues to remain the worst affected country by the virus. The country has registered more than 4 crore 90 lakh cases, with death toll surpassing 7 lakh 99,000. Meanwhile, the European countries have again been witnessing a boom in COVID cases, with UK registering the highest number of cases in the continent. The country has more than 1 crore 1 lakh cases of COVID, followed by France that has over 75 lakh 88,000 cases. Germany trails behind France, registering more than 57 lakh 44,000 cases, while Italy has also been seeing a spike where the number of cases stand above 49 lakh 94,000. An update on Storm Orwin now. At least 3 people died and thousands were left without power as Storm Orwin brought strong winds across many parts of the United Kingdom with gusts of up to 100 miles per hour. A third person died after Storm Orwin lashed parts of the UK with high winds, rain and snow. The 35-year-old man died after his pickup truck was struck by a falling tree. Another man died in Northern Ireland's County Antrim when his car was struck by a falling tree on Friday evening. The first man was killed in Cumbria in the northwest of England when he was hit by a falling tree. The Met Office said that yellow warnings remained in place on Saturday across much of the country. Engineers were also working to restore supplies in Scotland and southern England. A video showed a garden fence being blown by strong wind and rainfall in Portsoy, Aberdeenshire, and also Storm Orwin hit Scotland. Authorities advised customers not to travel north of York on Sunday or in fact Saturday as well. ScotRail also reduced services between Aberdeen, Perth and Inverness, and also there were disruptions on other lines as well. And France's most emblematic Christmas fair opened in Strasbourg after being cancelled last year due to the pandemic. This year, hand sanitizers are side by side along with hot chocolate, and American and German visitors also visited the fair, which sold traditional Christmas decorations, candles and other holiday items. All right, Christmas was setting in. Let's get you some sports updates now. In FIA Junior Men's Hockey World Cup, defending champions India entered the quarterfinals after defeating Poland 8-2 at Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar on Saturday evening. For the hosts, Sudeep, Sanjay and Arajit all scored a brace each, while Shardhanan and Uttam Singh chipped in with one apiece to complete the rout. Earlier in other Group B matches, India defeated Canada 13-1 on Thursday and lost the first match 4-5 against France. India will now face Group A topper Belgium in the knockout stage on Wednesday. And in cricket, New Zealand made a terrific start to the fourth day of the Kanpur Test, removing 4 Indian wickets to regain control in the game. Kyle Jamieson struck earlier with the wicket of Cheteshwar Pujara before captain Ajinkya Rahane fell on 4 as both the batsmen continued to disappoint. Tim Southee then claimed the wickets of Mayank Agarwal and Ravindra Jadeja in the same over to inflict further setback. India again look at the debutant Shreyas Iyer to bail them out, who is on the crease alongside Ravichandran Ashwin as India reached 84 for 5 at lunch, leading by 133 runs. And news now from the world of entertainment. The 52nd International Film Festival of India will conclude in Goa this evening. In the World Panorama segment, movies such as Taylor, Asterium, The Seed, Celts, Fathers and Book of Delights will be screened on the last day today. This year's Lifetime Award-winning director Istvan Szabo's movie Colonel Red, Father and Mephisto will be screened today. In the special tribute section to legendary actor Sean Connery, the classic movies such as From Russia with Love and You Only Live Twice are part of today's schedule. The festival will close with Asghar Farhadi's film, A Hero. That's it in this edition of the News. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.